Shalom. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rachak Wadash, for giving me the spirit and power to make this lesson. Double honors unto the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that teach this truth and will well. Wabrakatham unto the elect. This is the Brother Gabar, and I'm back with another lesson. This is going to be a continuation of my last lesson. Let me see what the title was. I'm just going to title this the part 2. The Lord is a very present help in trouble. All right. And I want to go into the peace aspect of that, because knowing that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is with you, how can you not have a peace of mind? Right. And we're going to go into that account with Elisha. Okay, let's get 2 Kings chapter 6 and start at verse 8. It says, Then the king of Syria warred against Israel and took counsel with his servants, saying, In such and such a place shall be my camp. And the man of God sent unto the king of Israel, saying, Beware that thou pass not such a place, for thither the Syrians are come down. And the king of Israel sent to the place which the man of God told him and warned him of, and saved himself there, not once nor twice. Therefore the heart of the king of Syria was sore troubled for this thing. Right, because the man of God is pitting the king of Israel, all right, on game about what's going on. All right, hey, this is their plans. They doing this, which the Lord has a spirit on the man of God to tell him that. Okay, but it pissed the king of Syria off. It says, the king of Syria, in verse 11, the king of Syria was sore troubled for this thing, and he called his servants and said unto them, Will ye not shew me which of us is for the king of Israel? Right, which of us is a spy that's telling my plans? Okay, verse 12. And one of the servants said, None, my lord, O king, but Elisha, the prophet that is in Israel, telleth the king of Israel the words that thou speakest in thy bedchamber. All right, showing the power of the Lord. Okay. It says, And he said, Go and spy where he is, that I may send and fetch him. And it was told him, saying, Behold, he is in Dothan. Therefore sent he thither horses and chariots and a great host. And they came by night and compassed the city about. So you got to envision that. All right. Horses, chariots, and a great host. All right, that's a very fearful sight for that to be, against you, if you don't have Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Okay, but with Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, that don't even matter, as we're about to read. All right. And it says, And when the servants of the man of God was risen early and gone forth, behold, an host compassed the city, both with horses and chariots. And his servant said unto him, Alas, my master, how shall we do? All right, so he's like, damn, what we gonna do? Right, because it looked like it's no way out. Now, the point is what Elisha said to his servant. All right, and what happened? Verse 16, and he answered, Fear not. Okay, and that's the whole point. Fear not, because what do you have to fear when Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is near? Right? When the Lord is with you, all right? When the Lord is with you, what do you got to fear? That type of power. Okay, we read about the acts of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. We read about his reputation, his great name, what he does for his people, the ones that fear him. Okay? So, it's nothing for you to be afraid about, all right? Because the Lord can literally do anything at any moment. All right, he can show his power. All right, and the Lord already has his angels there round about those that fear him anyway. To do what? We're going to get into that. To deliver them. Okay. So with Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai in your corner, there's no opponent, that you should be like, oh my God, I don't know what we're going to do either. What if he would have said that? What if Elisha, all right, when the servant said, how shall we do? What if Elisha would have turned around, looked at him, teary-eyed, maybe shaking, and he was like, shit, I don't know. But that servant would have bugged out. All right. But he was in a calm mindset, knowing that, man, Yahweh Shema Shah is with me. He's going to move for us. Just watch. All right. Now let me read it again. 2 Ezra 6 and 16. And he answered, fear not. So don't be afraid. It's nothing we have to be afraid of. All right. For they that be with us are more than they that be with them. Right. And just because sometimes you can't see the ones that be with you, that are encamped around you, that doesn't mean that they're not there. That doesn't mean that they're not going to act. All right. Yahweh Shema Shai, all right, he has his angels encamped around about those that fear him, all right, to deliver them, those that trust in him, okay? And it's a great power, all right? It's a very great power that can perform anything, okay? And as long as you believe that, if you truly, truly believe that, when trouble comes, when that host of that those chariots and those horses and that great host come, you're going to understand that, man, it's more power with me than with them. And that gives you a lot of peace of mind. And you're going to need peace of mind in these last days, as, you know, a lot of trouble is just coming. It's a lot of trouble already, all right? But it's a lot of trouble coming, specifically Jacob's trouble, all right? 10,000 falling at your right hand, 1,000 at the other, but it won't come nigh thee, okay? That's being in the midst of great diseases, great trouble, okay, great death, all right. But we can have confidence and we can be assured, all right, and have peace of mind because we have Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. This is Isaiah 33 and 6. All right, mentality, man. Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, man. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. All right. Roughly paraphrasing. Okay. But I must say that this whole mindset, this whole mindset and having peace, okay, especially in a time of tribulation, all right, is directly linked with you fearing the Lord, because it's not just given to anybody. It's given to those that fear the Lord. Okay. Verse 16 again, 2 Kings 6 and 16. And he answered, fear not, for they that be with us, Yahweh Shema Shai, are more than they that be with them. Verse 17. And Elisha prayed and said, Yahweh, I pray thee, Yahweh Shema Shai, I pray thee, open his eyes that he may see. And Yahweh Shema Shai opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw. And behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha. Right. So they thought that they had horses and chariots and a great host. But Elisha, okay, he had a greater host, greater chariots, greater horses. Okay. Symbolic for the vehicles that the angels drive. All right. The chariots of Yahweh Shema Shai. Okay. And the angels, they navigated in those. Okay. So it was greater power with them. Although even the servant of the man of God, Elisha, although he couldn't see it, they were still there. All right. And you have to be in the same mindset, man. Although you can't see it at times, all right, because they will show themselves at different times. Okay. But although you can't see it at times, that doesn't mean they're not there. All right. And they are there for a purpose. They're not just there to look at. They're there to relay messages. All right. And to deliver you, to guide you as well. Okay. But this is the mindset you have to put on. Because if you don't have that mindset, you're going to be like the servant before he told him, fear not. And the Lord used him to open his eyes. Okay. You're just going to fret because you're looking at the sight of the situation and not through your faith. All right. So keep that in mind, man, so that you can have peace. Okay. Yahweh Shema Shai is a very present help in trouble. All right. Even if you can't see him. Okay. The Lord is there and the Lord is working. All right. All right, Slakia. Now let's get verse 18. It says, and when they came down to him, Elisha prayed. So he's praying again. All right, so you see how powerful prayer is. Prayer is very, very powerful, man. All right, do not sleep on prayer, man. It says, and when they came down to him, Elisha prayed unto the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai, and said, smite this people, I pray thee, with blindness. And he smote them with blindness according to the word of Elisha, man. So when you in league with Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai, anything can happen. All right, make them all blind, Lord, please. And the Lord does it. The Lord moves for you. He's listening to your prayer. He's inclining his ear into your prayer. That's pure power, man. And Lord's will, I'll do a lesson on that. Okay? How powerful prayer really is. All right? Because you have the master of all existence, Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushua, listening to you, answering your request. That's beyond powerful. Because that power is infinite. Anything can happen. Like I said, he could have called down fire. He could have done anything. He smote them with blindness. All right. Now let's keep reading. Verse 19. And Elisha said unto them, this is not the way, neither is this the city. Follow me. I will bring you to the man whom ye seek. But he led them to Samaria. All right. Now I'm going to read verse 20. I'm pretty much stopped there. It says, and it came to pass when they were come into Samaria that Elisha said, Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai, open the eyes of these men that they may see. And the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai opened their eyes, and they saw, and behold, they were in the midst of Samaria. Right. Lord smote them with blindness. They're all blind. Hey, what y'all doing? Y'all at the wrong spot. And the one you looking for is not here. Follow me. I got you. Take them to a whole nother place, man. Come on, man. All right. And you can go read, all right, the whole 1 Kings, 2 Kings, very edifying, of course. Okay. But you see the power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai. What do you got to fear when that type of power is with you? What do you got to fear? Right? We ain't got nothing to fear, man. That's why these heathens are, that's why these heathens fear. That's why they're scared, because they understand. Okay, if they in league with that type of power, it's over for us. So we got to do everything possible in our power to distract them, to keep them away from their power. Okay? And this is why we need our power, man. All right? Especially because we're in such a state, such a lower state. All right? And even if we wasn't in a lower state, all right, even if we was in the land right now, all right, we would still need Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai, of course. But we're in trouble. All right? So we all the more need Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai. Okay? Now, Proverbs chapter 28 and verse 1, it says, the wicked flee when no man pursueth, but the righteous are as bold as a lion. Right? You get your boldness from Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. When the Lord is in league with you, what can you not do? What can come against you and confound you? Nothing. Literally nothing. No situation at all. You go read about the different things in the past, the different accounts, all right, where the men of the Lord, all right, our forefathers, our foremothers were in different trouble, and the Lord came and delivered them, all right, in such a way, such a magnificent way, all right, using his miracles, using his power, using his wisdom. Okay. And it's like, man, it's nothing that really can separate you from Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai. Literally. Okay. Now it says the righteous are as bold as a lion. Where's that boldness coming from? What I was speaking about earlier. All right. That's directly connected to you fearing the Lord. If you don't fear the Lord, you do not have boldness. All right. Because your mind is condemning you anyway. All right. You're not going to really believe that the Lord is going to hear you when you pray, because you're not doing nothing he said to do to please him so that he can hear you. All right. You're just being wicked. All right. You're just doing whatever you want to do. All right. You don't care about the Most High. So he don't care about you. All right. But if you really sincerely striving towards Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai, what does the scripture say? Draw nigh to Yahweh and he will draw nigh to you. Okay. So you have to fear Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai. Proverbs 14:26. This is how the righteous are so bold as a lion. It says in the fear of the Lord Yahweh is strong confidence. Boom, there you go. Now, if you got that word strong on Google, it will say powerful. If you got that word confidence also on Google, it will say trust, hope, belief, faith. Okay. So that powerful faith for powerful things to happen. Okay. That's directly connected with you fearing the Lord. So if you out here fearing the Lord as hard as you can, day in, day out, of course we fall at different times, but you get back up. Okay. You're praying. You're doing what you're supposed to do for Yahweh Shema Shai, and you know you are. You're building up confidence towards Yahweh Shema Shai, and especially as it happens now. You pray for something and it happens. We're all living in the midst of answered prayers. All right, we're all living in the midst of answered prayers, man. You think that's not giving you confidence? All right, of course it is. It's giving you confidence towards Yahweh Shema Shai that He's gonna hear you when you ask something of Him. Okay. But that's how you get that confidence, that boldness. All right, matter of fact, let me just get this word bold definition on Google. This definition of the word bold, it says of a person, action, or idea showing an ability to take a risk, right? And it would seem like a risk because carnally in the situation. All right, you got horses, a great host, and chariots coming at you, all right, or round about you, all right. They trying to take you, they trying to delete you, whatever, all right. It would seem like a risk to, I'm gonna pray, to the flesh or to somebody looking at the situation carnally, because carnally it's like, let's get the fuck out of here, let's run or something. We can't, all right. But it's confidence towards Yahweh Shema Shai, all right, because in faith. But though you can't see it, all right, though you can't see it with carnal eyes, Yahweh Shema Shai is there and ready to act. All right. It says showing an ability to take a risk. It says confident and courageous. There go that word confident again. All right. So the righteous are as bold as a lion, and they're becoming that bold. All right. They're that bold because they fear the Lord. It's in the fear of the Lord. If you fear the Lord, you're gonna build up confidence. That's for damn sure. As Yahweh Shema Shai, of course, is gonna put you through different experiences, situations. All right, so that confidence can be used, or that faith, and so that it can grow like a muscle, right? Just like He did with David. He went against that lion and the bear, all right, and then Goliath popped up, and he even went over that record. All right, I believe when he was talking to Saul, all right. The Lord delivered me from this lion and this bear. I forgot exactly how He worded it, but He said that the Philistine is going to be the same. So the Lord is doing all these things for a purpose. It ain't even just for no reason. The Lord is building up, all right, His elect. Okay. So confidence is boldness. How are you getting that boldness? How are you getting that confidence? Proverbs 14:26. And this is what's giving you peace. All right. Because also, as it said, courage. Okay. Courage is facing danger with confidence, basically. It says, Proverbs 14:26 again, in the fear of the Lord, right? So in that treasure box, okay, that you are withdrawing from, you're tapping into, is strong confidence. In the fear of the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, is strong confidence in His children shall have a place of refuge, man. Okay. So that's where the confidence is coming from. You can't forget that. You're not just going to snap into some Slim Jim and not doing nothing towards Yahweh Shema Shai to build no confidence, man. All right, if you're doing what you're supposed to do, if your parents say, I need this and that done by the time I get home, all right, and your parents are already in the driveway, you hear the brake squeaking in the driveway, and you look up and the dish is not done, your room isn't clean, the grass is not cut, right? Certain things, whatever they ask you to do, you're not going to have confidence that they finna come in and be loving to you. You already know they upset. So you're going to be fearful. What will I do? What am I going to do? Right? Because you wasn't on your stuff. You didn't do what you were supposed to do. So fear Yahweh Shema Shai. All right? Especially now. All right, we're at the latter days, man. Yahweh Shema Shai is about to make a great desolation, about to make a great destruction of the current world that we're in. He's about to turn everything right side up. All right. Sirach 2:10. Look at the generations of old, and you do that when you read. It says, and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? And here's the point I want to make. Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Right. So if you're abiding in the fear of the Lord, right? And let me grab this word forsaken. If you're abiding in the fear of Yahweh Shema Shai, all right, and something's going on, trouble's coming, trouble is there. You think you're just going to be forsaken? No, man. You got trust in these scriptures. All right, you got trust in the word of Yahweh Shema Shai. The Lord has already shown himself to you by giving you this wisdom, knowledge, understanding. And of course, we have accounts, all right, where seeing chariots, all right, different miracles being performed, all sorts of things. And of course, your prayers being answered. All right, and Lord's will, that's a whole nother lesson I want to go into, because that is so powerful alone. That is spiritual power. All right, Lord, make these people blind. They're blind. All right, Lord, open their eyes. The eyes are back open. That's God-like power, man. Because you have power with Yahweh Shema Shai. Because you're in league with him. Because you fear him. That's your connection. If you're not fearing the Lord, you don't got no connection towards Yahweh Shema Shai. At all. Okay? Now, I just want to get this word forsaken. Then we'll hop back. Just on Google. Forsaken. It says abandoned or deserted. Okay? Yeah, it says abandon someone or something. All right. So Yahweh Shema Shai is not going to abandon you, especially in the times of trouble. Okay. Yahweh Shema Shai is going to fight for his people. Let's go back. So as long as you fear the Lord and you know that, of course, that's going to give you some peace. Okay, I fear the Lord, so the Lord ain't going to forsake me as this famine come. The Lord ain't going to forsake me as this disease strike. And of course, the Lord has already made an oath. All right, he already promised that he's going to deliver, all right, his elect from these things, man. So what does it look like for you to be shaking in your boots? You can't be shaking in your boots. You can't be afraid. You can't fear when Yahweh Shema Shai is near. It's just not possible. How is it possible? You read his track record. All right. You read the different things that he's done, and you look at your own life and your own walk and see what the Lord has done. And that's giving you confidence too. Okay. Like, damn, Yahweh Shema Shai, ain't nothing he can't do. All right. He can deliver from anything. His hand, which is Yahweh Shai, is not short that it cannot save. Sirach 2:10. Look at the generation of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded, or did any abide in his fear, which is what you're doing, okay, and was forsaken, or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? Right. If you call on upon Yahweh Shema Shai in faith, in fear, and sincerity, and you're really trying, okay, Yahweh Shema Shai is not finna look at you like, oh, this motherfucker, man, always calling on me when he need help. That ain't how the Lord is looking at the situation. The Lord, first of all, he already know, because he bringing the situation. All right. And the Lord has his angels already encamped round about you, man, to deliver you. All right. The Lord is going to fastly, speedily come to the rescue, man. He's not going to tarry. All right. And especially, all right, us being in these latter days, what's about to go down, which is Jacob's trouble, man. Okay. The Lord is here. The Lord is near. All right. So you don't have to fear. All right. The Lord is near, so you don't have to fear. All right. Now, let's grab Psalm 34 and verse 7. The angel of the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai encampeth round about them that fear him and delivereth them. You see that? And that's surely what happened with Elisha, man, and our forefathers. Okay. So when you're reading about, okay, the Lord got the angels around to deliver, and you reading about, okay, this is how they delivered when these certain things happened, these certain troubles came. All right. You read that, man, it's giving you confidence, because it's like, damn, shit, and Yahweh Shema Shai is with me. It's like, yeah, nothing can come against you. Nothing can come against you. Nothing at all in the world. Okay? You got to remember that. Fear not. Just like Elisha told his servant, man, because he was like, damn, what we going to do? All right? But Elisha, being full of faith, being full of the Spirit of the Lord, all right, fear not. Look, Yahweh Shema Shai, Baba Shai, open his eyes so that he can see the power that is with us. There's a lot more power that is with them. And the Lord did it. Okay, we read it. The Lord did it. All right. Very, very powerful, man. Very, very powerful. And he did it through prayer. All right. Not finna sleep on that. He did it through prayer, man. So how powerful is prayer? You know, Lord's will, like I said, Lord's will, I will go into that. Okay. Hopefully the next video. Okay. Verse 8. Oh, taste and see that the Lord Yahweh is good. Blessed is the man that trusteth in him, right? Because if you trusted in that type of power, that power is going to save you. All right. If you're doing it the right way, you ain't just when trouble comes, you don't live this wicked life. You never fear the Lord. You ain't got no confidence. All right. You double-minded in your ways, all that. All right. Then trouble coming. You ain't even really got confidence that he going to answer you. You know, you just calling out because you in trouble. You think the Lord just go, I got you. No, Lord ain't finna come save you. You ain't got no confidence. You don't fear the Lord. All right. You don't really trust in him. So you're not blessed to be in that blessed position to be saved. All right. For the Lord to hear your prayer. That's a blessing alone for the Lord to hear your prayer. Okay. Verse 9. Oh, fear the Lord Yahweh, ye his saints, which is us, the Israelites. For there is no want to them that fear him. Right. You're going to have everything you need. You're not going to be lacking. You're not going to be in want. If it's famine and you need food, the Lord is going to provide it. All right. If it's trouble and you need deliverance, the Lord is going to deliver. Okay. Verse 10. All right. But see how everything is connected back to those roots of you fearing the Lord. It ain't just going to happen. It ain't just going to happen. It's going to happen for you if you fear the Lord. All right. And not just, I do a little bit. Nah, because what happened in the parable of the sower of the seeds? Okay. The one that had short roots, when that tribulation came, it withered away. You got to be deep. You know, you got to be really deep. Your roots got to be really deep. All right. Getting all the nutrients into Yahweh Shema Shai. Okay. It ain't just going, just like a little blade of grass. All right. That you can just go pull up really easily. All right. Satan can just pull you up really easily. You got to be like one of them trees where even if a car hit it, the fucking car wraps around the tree and the tree don't move. Maybe it shakes a little bit. Maybe a couple acorns or something fall off. But that's it. All right. That's it. The whole car is gone. It's total. But the tree is there. You know what I'm talking about. Them big, thick trees, man. Trees are strong as hell. All right. Trees are very strong, man. You want to be like that. You want your roots to be all the way in there. You want them to be very deep, man. Okay, you don't want to be just no little blade of grass out here, because that lawnmower going to come and you just going to get cut up and that's going to be the end of you. All right. Verse 9, oh, fear the Lord, ye his saints, for there is no want to them that fear him. Boom. The fear is the thing that's connecting you, all right, to that salvation, man. Matter of fact, real quick. This is Isaiah chapter 33 and verse 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure, right? So you being connected, all right, with this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, which the roots of wisdom is the fear of the Lord. So you have to fear the Lord to have wisdom. That's the strength of your salvation right there. All right. So if you ain't got no fear of the Lord, you ain't got no strength toward your salvation, man. You just out here. Okay. So fearing the Lord is connected to you accessing the Lord. All right. You want access, you're going to have to fear Yahweh Shema Shai. That's what he wants. All right. And those that fear him is seeking out the things that please him anyway, as it says in Sirach. That should be the mindset. All right. If you fear the Lord, you should be seeking out everything that will please the Lord that you're supposed to be doing. All right. And you do it to the best of your ability, of course. All right. Because yes, we are in these bodies. We are in this flesh until we get changed. All right. Where we will perfectly fear Yahweh Shema Shai, because he's going to put his word, his law, statutes, and commandments in us. And we won't be able to go off. We're going to fear the Lord perfectly every day, 144% all day, every day of eternity. Okay. That's why our kingdom not going to go down. That's why we won't die. That's why we're going to be so powerful. Okay. As we're coming into that now. All right. All right. Psalm 34:10. The young lions do lack and suffer hunger, but they that seek the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Shai, shall not want any good thing. Right. Because you're already going to have it. All right. The Lord is going to provide it for you. Okay. You ask and you have it. And in some cases, you ain't going to have to ask. It's just going to be provided already, man. The Lord is just going to be that fast acting. Right? It says, verse 11, come, ye children, hearken unto me. I will teach you the fear of the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Shai. That's what we're learning, man. How to fear our power, okay? Correctly, okay? What our power likes, what our power don't like, just like a woman and her husband. She wants to please her husband as we're the woman of the Lord. All right, you got to know what he likes and you got to know what he don't like so you can stay away from those things. Okay? That's what we're doing. We want the Lord to have pleasure in us. Okay? Verse 15. Jump down to verse 15. Psalm 34:15. The eyes of the Lord Yahweh are upon the righteous, and his ears are open unto their cry. Right? And those eyes are the angels. Those are the eyes of the Lord. Okay, as the scriptures say. So his eyes are upon the righteous. All right. And his ears are open unto their cry. So if you out here, all right, building up your confidence, fearing the Lord, being upright as possible, righteous, okay, when you cry out, the Lord is going to hear your cry and he's going to answer you just like he did Elisha. All right. And you can build up more, you building up more and more confidence as you fearing the Lord more and more. All right. You're building up more and more confidence in your prayers, because your prayers are only going to be answered if you got confidence, if you got faith. Okay. If you fear the Lord. All right. Remember, it boils down to faith and fear. You're not accessing none of this without faith and fear. Okay. Let me see. All right, let's get another precept. John 16:33. These things I have spoken unto you, that in me ye might have peace. Right. This is another aspect of that peace. All right. That when Yahweh Bashim Shai is with you, all right, being that he's so much more powerful than anything in existence, anything, all right, there's nothing that can come against you to confound you because you fear the Lord. All right. You can't be forsaken. All right. The Lord isn't going to forsake you because you're one of his. Okay. That gives you peace. All right. So now that when danger comes, all right. Matter of fact, let me grab that. Now that when danger comes, you good. It's like your nose running. Let me grab that. Sirach 33:1. It says, no evil will ever come to a person who fears the Lord. Do you see? Everything is connected, man. It's all connected back to those roots. It says no evil, right? Actual pestilence and famine, teeth of wild beast, right? Total destruction, right? In whatever way, your house being overthrown. None of that can come to a person that fears the Lord, man. Don't think the Lord can't test you, though. Okay. But let's keep reading. Sirach 33:1 in the GNT. No evil will ever come to a person who fears the Lord. However, often danger comes. The Lord will come to the rescue. You see? So even when danger does come, Yahweh Shema Shai is going to come to the rescue, man. And he's going to come speedily. You call on the Lord and he's going to be there, man. He wants to save you. Okay? He's the one bringing the destruction, the danger, okay, to try you, right? Whatever it may look like. It can come in whatever form, okay? A whole host and chariots and horses could be there. And the Lord's like, I'm going to see if he's going to call on me, if he's going to remain calm, all right, and call on me, knowing my power, because he know my power, right? So what you got to fear? Knowing that type of power, right? Yahweh Bashim Al Shai. It's so much, you got to put so much respect and fear on those names, okay? That when that stuff does come, all right, when that situation does come upon you, it's like, man, Yahweh Bashim Al Shai. You got all the confidence in the world calling on Yahweh Bashim Al Shai, right? Because you've been fearing him, okay? And he been showing up for you all along anyway. Let me read that again. Sirach 33:1. No evil will ever come to a person who fears the Lord. However, often danger comes. The Lord will come to the rescue. Okay? So we ain't got nothing to worry about, man. That's why if you in Yahweh Shai, you have peace. Okay? You have peace because you know the Lord gonna rescue me. Ain't no way he not. I'm fearing the Lord. Right? You got to build that confidence up. You got to fear the Lord. All right. So you can have that mindset. Otherwise, when the danger does come, you ain't got so much confidence that you're just going to be rescued. Right. So then what? Then that peace starts to fade away and they get replaced by what? Fear. Ultimately, it's either going to be you have peace because you're in Yahweh Bashim Al Shai, or that peace is going to be replaced with fear of the situation because you're not in Yahweh Bashim Al Shai. It's that simple. It really is that simple. Okay? Now, it says, John 16:33, these things I have spoken unto you, that in me ye might have peace. In the world ye shall have tribulation. Right? Now, you got people in the world, man, that's not in Yahweh Bashim Al Shai. Okay? They have fear. They don't have peace. All right, as the Father has given us, all right, the spirit of let me grab that. He's given us that sound mind and not that fear. They have that fear because they don't have the Lord. They ain't got nothing to combat that situation, the danger, the evil. But we do. 2 Timothy 1:7. For Yahweh has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. Right. So you got to initiate that, man, by calling on the Lord. Okay. Remembering his reputation. Okay. All right. John 16:33 again. These things I have spoken unto you, that in me ye might have peace. In the world ye shall have tribulation, but be of good cheer, I have overcome the world. Okay. Psalms chapter 5:10. Destroy thou them, O Yahweh. Let them fall by their own counsels. Cast them out in the multitude of their transgressions, for they have rebelled against thee. Right, speaking about the wicked. Verse 11. But all those that put their trust in thee rejoice. Let them ever shout for joy, because thou defendest them. You see? So knowing that Yahweh Bashim Al Shai will defend you, all right, because you're in good grace with him, which is through Yahweh Shai, all right, having that peace with the Father, okay, and you're doing what you're supposed to do. You're fearing the Lord, okay, and the Lord is as it says, because thou defendest them, all right, the Lord defends you, and you know he's gonna defend you, so you don't have to be afraid in these situations. All right, you can be a complete calm, a complete peace, like Yahweh Shai was on that ship in that storm. All right, you can be at peace in the storm. All right, because you know Yahweh Shai is with you and he's going to calm the storm. Okay, it says, verse 11, Psalms 5:11, But let all those that put their trust in thee, right? You got to put your trust in the Lord, like for real. Not just, yeah, I think no. You got to, yes, Yahweh Shema Shai is with me. He's going to deliver me. That's your mindset, okay? It says, put their trust in thee, rejoice. Let them ever shout for joy because thou defendest them. Let them also that love thy name be joyful in thee. Right. Okay. And I want to grab a quick precept because that joy isn't just there. All right. Like just popping up out of nowhere and you ain't done nothing. That joy is there because you fear the Lord. It always circles back. Sirach 1:12. It says, the fear of the Lord maketh a merry heart and giveth joy and gladness and a long life. You see? So if you fear Yahweh Shema Shai, you're going to be joyful. You're going to have a merry heart because you know that Yahweh Shema Shai defends all them that fear him, and I fear him. So what you going to have to worry about ultimately? Nothing. There is literally nothing, man. Okay? Because you fear the Lord. The fear of the Lord gives you the access to these things, man. Okay? Going back. Psalm chapter 5 and verse 12. All right. So the Lord, you're going to be joyful because you fear the Lord, knowing that he defends those that fear him. Okay. Now, verse 12. For thou, Yahweh, wilt bless the righteous. With favor wilt thou compass him as with a shield. Right. Okay. So knowing that shield is there, man, it's nothing that's going to break through if you in that strong tower. All right. That strong tower is a strong tower against every kind of storm. Like when you see them lighthouses and it be like in the ocean. All right. Or on the, or wherever it is. All right. And it's like a horrible storm going on, but you just got that light going. All right. And it's just the biggest waves just hitting that lighthouse or whatever. Right. And it don't move. Right. Same way, man. There ain't nothing finna move you. If you under the wings of Yahweh Shema Shai, if you in that strong tower, if you fear him, you ain't gonna be confounded or forsaken. You ain't gonna be left. It's literally no possible way. Because the Lord doesn't lie. He makes good his word. Right? Okay. Now, let's get 2nd Ezra chapter 16. I'm gonna go straight to the point. All right. And this is speaking right after, going into that trying time for those that fear the Lord. Okay. That time of tribulation. All right. And what the Lord responds to it. Okay. That you don't even have to be afraid because the Lord is going to be there to assist you and guide us in that time, which is what I've been saying this whole lesson. Okay. 2nd Ezra 16:74. Hear, O ye my beloved, which is the elect, saith the Lord. Behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. Be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for Yahweh is your guide. You see? So, yeah, the trouble's here. The trouble's coming. But look, I'm with you. And you know my reputation. You know how I get down. So it ain't nothing to even be afraid about. I got you. Just let me work. Keep doing what you're supposed to do for me and let me work. Right? That's what we are planning on. That's what we tapped into. Okay? All right. So Lord's will, this was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh by Shema Shai, by Shem Ruach HaKodesh for giving me the spirit and power to make this lesson. And to next time, Kamra Shalom.